IVM.
Hi,
You're
listening to IVM.
daily.
Hey guys, welcome to IVM Daily. Nice. Yes, this is Halloween season and we're talking Halloween and our first paranormal experiences, right?
Not first,
Our
but
worst?
worst.
Yeah, one of the worst. I have no idea and I have not really experienced anything paranormal and thank God for that.
Really?
Oh my God.
Nothing?
Or maybe I just deleted those from my memory because I don't want to live through them again. Yeah.
That's fair.
Anyway, I'm in a better position now. So we have Alika
Hi.
and Jaanam
Hello.
and Karthik.
Hello.
What's up, guys?
Good. We're all good.
good?
So far, this Halloween season, I haven't experienced anything overly paranormal, but we have experienced stuff before.
Yeah.
Okay, before we get into our paranormal experiences, I want to talk about what are your irrational fears. Like, what is like something that just like is a little bit eerie. You don't know why. You can't. There's no science behind it. There's no logic, but you're just scared of the fact.
I think I've said this before, but I have a very specific irrational fear, which is which coincides with somebody else's irrational fear. Is that if I'm in a bathroom, I don't like looking up in the mirror because I'm very terrified something's going to be looking back at me, which is not
Oh
me.
my God.
Yeah, it's a very specific fear. I don't know why.
I'm very afraid of like graveyards. I don't know why though. Like I'll be in an auto, like just like crossing the graveyard. I'll be and it could be the day. I'll still be like, oh shit.
It
this
gives
is-
you
There's one near
chills,
Car
yeah.
Station though.
I like graveyards.
Okay.
Oh wow, that doesn't make you weird at all. I like
I mean,
graveyards.
they're very peaceful and chill.
That's a good bio. I'm Alika. I like graveyards.
Said every goth kid ever.
What about you, Karthik?
I'm basically afraid of clowns and dolls.
Yeah, you know,
all
Yeah.
I 100% understand
Chucky.
this. Yeah,
What about you,
that
Jaanam?
movie scarred me for life.
I'm scared of lizards. That's
Okay, listen.
That's cute.
Okay, no, lizards not animals. You can't say I'm afraid of animals.
Yeah.
Like what gives you an eerie feeling? Like gives you like a little like, oh, I'm like this is abnormal or like I shouldn't be here.
Boyfriends?
I mean,
Listen, we're not getting that real now. Okay. I think it's mostly. I'm not really scared of the dark, but okay. So over the weekend, I binge watched The Haunting on Hill House, and I'm usually not scared, but I'll admit, after binge watching like 8 episodes at a stretch, I was a little freaked out to go alone in another room in the night, and
it's the dark. You're scared of it.
Yeah, and I
Yeah.
was just like, okay, there's a ghost like just
You're
loitering
scared of
around
the
somewhere.
things in the dark.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's something about that. All right, moving on to your real life experiences. Oh God, what have you been through, Karthik?
Okay, so this happened when I was in 8th. So
Okay.
we had a group of friends. So we are like we are 3 of them, and we are like we do all those crazy things, and we were basically the bullies of our colony. So
Things we are learning about you.
Yeah. Okay, so it was past. So yeah. So someone like I don't know who exactly, but someone came with the plan that we'll chill in a graveyard.
Oh,
Wow.
God.
So-
We'll chill in a graveyard.
Yeah.
That's
How did
not.
y'all chill? Y'all took like chips and
Yeah, exactly.
drinks
We
and-
took. It was staple. Like we can't afford much, so it was one cigarette, then one kachori or one dahi puri, and one.
One
Yeah, we
each.
have to share it.
Yeah.
Okay.
So and one Coke bottle.
Okay.
So the 600 ml one. So we used to chill in a graveyard. So it was the Inferno one, like the one, the electric one. The electric one. So after like 2 months of chilling in a graveyard.
You used to chill. I thought it's a one-time thing.
No,
You
we used to
once-
chill for 2 months.
And every time you would take one kachori,
Yeah, exactly.
one dahi puri.
Yeah.
Sounds
Are
like
you
you're performing some ritual there, you know,
Is it a
cat's
cult?
whiskers.
No.
Sounds like a
Lizard
cult
tail,
thing.
yeah.
No. So it
Feel
was.
like people who went past this graveyard and saw you guys there, like,
Okay, Karthik, I'm gonna say
There's some-
there's something weird about you taking just
So-
one kachori and one dahi puri
Because
and one
we
cigarette
can only
each
afford
time.
that.
Sure.
Like in 8th standard, yeah.
Change it up.
Okay.
Buy Lays. A packet of chips.
We might have changed it.
Whatever.
Yeah. So after that, we were like, "Ki, ये तो बहुत चिंदी है. Let's go to there's one graveyard for like unknown people."
Oh,
so
okay.
they bury random bodies.
Right.
Even if it's a hand, they'll bury it.
Yeah,
Even if it's a dog, they'll bury it over there.
Yeah.
There's a place in Kharghar.
Okay.
Oh.
Okay. So
like when you say unknown people, you mean people who don't have families?
Yeah,
Like
people who don't have families or
unidentified
unidentifiable.
Okay.
Oh, because
So so it's all dark, and then we used to chill there for 1 month.
Okay.
So 3 months of chilling in a
Yeah,
graveyard.
after that.
What's your motivation behind this? Where are you getting
It's
at?
like tempting fate.
Exactly.
Yeah,
It was tempting actually. That's what my psychological thing comes in. Like we were like, we literally used to chill in a graveyard. Like और कोई जगह नहीं मिला था. हम लोग graveyard में chill
Was it
कर रहे
because it was free?
थे. हो सकता है, yeah.
Because you don't have to pay.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah,
It's
but still.
you're
then-
making it sound like rebellious act, but it was just free.
So over there, after 1 month or so, my friend, so he bumped into a dead, he fell over a dead body.
Oh,
Okay.
wow.
It was an actual dead body,
Which
it
had
was-
not been
wasn't-
buried.
It was half decomposed,
Oh,
or
gee.
like dogs are feeding on it, something like that. Yeah.
Wait, it was not buried?
No, it wasn't buried.
They just kept it there and left it?
Or else it was buried, or the dogs pulled
Dug
it
it
out.
out.
Yeah.
Oh.
So something like that. So we saw the body. We had the light. So we saw the body, and we were like, "Ab se nahi karenge."
Oh my god,
So
was it?
and we had a clause ki we would never say it to anyone.
I'll,
And now I'm open.
until now, you know,
Yeah,
saying
it's been like close to 10 years. Yeah.
Oh my god.
Oh, man.
Who was that kid who fell over that dead body?
Uh,
How's he doing? How's his mental health?
I'll come back to it. So after that, for a year or so, we had like nightmares. I had like nightmares, terrible
my
nightmares.
God.
I wasn't able to sleep till like 5 or 4 in the morning.
Oh,
So
God.
because every time I sleep, I have this image of a person in my building who's dead. She's a lady.
Okay.
So that's the whole image. That's completely different from the body that we saw. So so after and like वो उसका 1 साल हो गया. Then after that, all 3 of us discussed the same things. All 3 of us had the same
Oh
nightmares.
my god.
What?
Yeah.
The same
All 3
one?
Of the
yeah.
same lady?
person?
The same person. I don't know which floor,
Huh.
but it was in the same building. We had like 10 buildings, and that there was one common building.
Okay.
So that was pretty creepy. And after that, so again a year passed. So after that, we found out ki the whole colony found out ki there was a lady in that building who was dead for a year. Because,
jeez.
yeah, she was like completely the body was completely decomposed.
Was that the same body the person
I don't
tripped
know.
over?
I don't know. No, that wasn't the same.
Okay.
Okay.
It's that was a moment when we had these nightmares, but
Okay.
the nightmares were of.
That lady.
It might be of that lady, but
Okay.
it was in the newspaper as well. So
She'd been dead for a year in her own
yeah,
house.
yeah.
Oh my god.
So apparently she had a fight with her son, and he left for the US, and he never came back.
Oh my god.
So her body was lying in the house for
yeah,
a year.
yeah.
Okay.
It was.
And all of y'all had nightmares about this.
Might be of the
lady.
same person, but
Okay.
after realizing this story that she has been like dead for a year.
Wow.
The same time, the duration was the same. Like we had nightmares during
That's-
the same time.
Yeah.
Really
And
creepy.
yeah,
There's
your
actually-
brain.
And I ruined my sleep for like 4 to 5 years post that.
There's actually a word for this sort of death
What's it?
in Japanese culture, because a lot of
Oh yeah.
apparently
The
now a lot of
forest.
Japanese older people are tending to die alone in their apartments and not be discovered because they don't necessarily have kids or whoever's staying with them or whatever. I just looked it up. It's called kodokushi. I don't know if I'm pronouncing
Is
it
it
right.
Khudkushi?
It's not.
It's kodokushi or lonely death, which is the Japanese phenomenon of people dying alone and remaining undiscovered for a long period
But
of time.
is this also like relate to the whole Japanese forest where people go and
No,
like,
that is, you mean the suicide forest?
Yeah.
No, that's a different thing. But this is a thing that, you know, a lot of elderly people who don't have anyone to necessarily
Yeah.
be with them or look after them, they just pass away in the apartments and nobody knows until, like, you know, they suddenly start smelling the dead body or
Oh
whatever.
shit, that's
Yeah,
horrible.
but that's super creepy. You had nightmares
Yeah.
about this person and then you
That
discovered
was-
1 year later that she died?
Yeah. The
long
society
time.
people, they realize कि
Did nobody like smell
अभी तो
it?
smell हाँ अभी ज़्यादा smell आ रहा है ने को लगा कुत्ता मर गया रहेगा like अभी ज़्यादा smell आ रहा है okay that's a person.
Oh God, that is
break open the door.
super
So, yeah.
creepy.
I just tell no one staying there because
Wow.
obviously.
Yeah. Oh boy.
Okay, do you guys want to take a break? And after the break, we'll be back with stories of Jaanam and Alika.
Yeah.
Okay, bye.
Hello. Welcome to another week on IVM Podcast. If you're not following us on social media, please make sure you do. Please. We're IVM Podcast on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. This week on Cyrus Says, Cyrus talks to business advisor and sommelier Cecilia Oldenay. Cyrus learns some wine etiquette and they do a wine tasting on the podcast. Vartalab is back with a brand new season. Akash and Naveen sit down with producer Jaanam to recap some of their favorite moments from season 1 and give you a glimpse of some of the fun new conversations they have in store for season 2. On the Pragati podcast, Pawan and China expert Manoj Keval Ramani dispel major myths about China and the Chinese government. On Pesa Vesa, we have a festive special episode with Hansi Mehrotra who gives some truly valuable advice on how to make better financial decisions. On the latest episode of Crocs Tales, tune into the last 2 parts of Story 9 featuring a bully, a coward, and a girl with a neat twist. And guys, remember, we need you to spread the word about podcasting. It's one of the most important things you can do to help us out. Let your friends know if there's a podcast episode that you like, that you think that they would like. Please do spread the word. And with that, let's continue on with your show.
Hey guys, welcome back after the break. We're talking paranormal experiences we've had. Okay, on to Jaanam.
Okay, so this happened with me like 2 years back. Sometime in January, I was in Noida.
Ooh.
I was with my family, and because it's January, obviously it's really cold. Fans are off, and our where we were staying was really like secluded, so there was no traffic noise at all. Like at night, it's literally pin drop silence. You can hear the silence. It's that okay. So. My mom and my stepdad were sleeping in the hall room, and the door was slightly ajar. My sister and I were in the room, so we were sleeping on mattresses down. We didn't have beds that time. So yeah, and it's dark and it's like winter. There are mosquitoes, so I have the blanket right above my head. Like I've covered my entire body in the blanket, and because of mosquitoes and. Yeah, so what happens is sometime around like 3:34 in the night, I feel 2 tugs on my blanket, and by like in one tug it's here, and in the by the second pull, it's the blanket is on my waist. And now I'm wide awake. Okay, now I'm just like, okay, what? I didn't imagine that because I was fast asleep and I was like, wait, I felt something pull, and I wouldn't remove the blanket obviously because of mosquitoes. So I'm just like, wait, who did this? And my phone is next to me. I check the time and I'm just looking around. I'm really obviously I'm freaked out. I'm like, I thought my mom was coming to wake me up or something. So I looked around. She wasn't there. She was lying in the hall. And I stay awake for like almost half an hour. I'm just awake trying to like figure out what happened. I look at my sister. She's fast asleep. She's facing the other end. She's passed out. And I'm waiting to call my mom. Okay, so I see the time. So my mom usually wakes up around like 4:35. So I see the time and I'm like, okay, by this time she must be awake. Let me call her. And I give her a call and I can hear the phone ringing in the hall. And I can also hear, the reason I call her is because I can hear her talking to my stepdad. They usually used to wake up early, so I could hear them talking. And I only called her because I could hear them talking, otherwise I didn't want to wake her up. So I call her and she doesn't answer. And I somehow like go back to sleep, and in the morning I wake up and I tell my mom that I usually wake up at 4:35 and I wanted to call you. And so she told me that no, we were sleeping, we were fast asleep, we didn't wake up at all in the middle of the night. So I was like, no, but I heard you and him talk. Yeah.
Okay.
And the thing is, I could hear them talk clearly because...
Was it not 2 different people? Like maybe one?
No, because it was a quiet apartment. It was absolutely quiet. And I could hear them chatter and talk. So I was just like, what did I hear if you...
Oh, man.
Yeah.
Wait, so we still don't know who was doing that blanket thing?
Yeah, I had no idea. And this was just a little freaky. Like, firstly, that blanket thing, then I hear voices that And I'm not the kind of person who hears voices usually, by the way. This is just the first and only time it's happened.
I just want to point out that Jaanam is very hardcore when it comes to horror stuff.
Exactly. Yeah.
You know what? The fact that you woke up and you inspected for half an hour.
I know. I would have just pulled a blanket and been like, nope.
I would say, leave me alone. If I can't see you, you don't exist.
Yeah.
That's my theory.
Yeah.
I don't want
But
to look
people tend to investigate what's going on.
Those people are the worst. Who looks under the bed in the middle of the night? Do not do that.
I know, right? Just pretend it's not there.
Even if there is nothing, your brain will somehow make an image, and brains are weird. Don't do this.
Yeah, brains tend to bring up things.
Yeah.
Even if they don't exist, because it's just like looking for a culprit and aha.
Yeah.
It's creepy.
Okay.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Moving on to Alika.
Well, this happened super duper recently. When I was in my New York trip.
Oh.
Yeah.
Ooh.
So it must have been 20 days ago, I guess, by now.
Oh, nice.
So we went for a little bit to Philadelphia. And we were staying in at a hotel there, and we were looking at things to do there because we were like, let's go and do some touristy shit. My brother finds this amazing thing called the ghost tour.
Okay.
Yeah.
You're signing up for this.
Yeah, I know, right? So I was like, oh man, I don't want to go for a ghost tour. I'm a big scaredy cat. Like a super big scaredy cat. I don't watch horror movies. I watch campy horror shit, but not really creepy horror things. I am not going to watch Haunting at Hill House. Anyways. So he's like, no, it'll be fun. It'll be cool. It's a group of people. Nothing's going to happen. Yeah. So we decided to go, and it's at night. So it's at around 7:30 in the night, and it's pretty dark by then. So we go, and there's quite a large group of people. It's not like we are alone. And then they split us into 3 groups. And there's a guide who's all dressed up in black and carrying an old lantern and stuff. And basically it's a walking tour which goes to all these different places in
I've been
Philly.
to one of those, yeah.
Where? Here?
In Bombay.
Oh man, you have to tell me where it is. Anyways, it goes to all these different places in Philly which are rumored to be haunted. So there was I don't remember all the names of the places exactly, but there was a bar which had burned down, and then there was a house where there had been murders and stuff like that, and they were all within walking distance, and you could see that they were boarded up and everything. And
so these incidents happened many years ago?
Yeah. So it happened roughly around the Civil War sort of time.
Okay.
So we went to, I think 4 or 5 of them, and I was really nervous. I was ready for bad shit to happen, but things did not happen. I went to first house, second house, third house, nothing happened. It was pretty chill, and then I started enjoying it. I was like, oh, this is cool. It's a history lesson, but spooky and shit. So it was really fun. Then we went to a park, which I'm not sure I'm getting the name right, but it may have been called Washington Park. I'm not sure. So we were standing there, and it was this was one of the more decently lit places. There were a couple of lampposts and things like that. There was another group at the other end of the park. And we were standing at one end, and he starts telling us about this park.
Okay.
And it was apparently, before it became a park, it was a potter's field. Now, potter's field is not actually actual potter's field. It's a place where people bury people they don't know. So all unmarked graves. And at some point in Philadelphia there was an outbreak of some disease which decimated the population. It was, I think, I don't know, they lost a lot of people. And a lot of those people were buried in these unmarked graves, and this park was one of these places where they were buried. So he's like, as you're walking right now, you are technically standing over dead bodies.
Okay.
So I was like, it's cool.
I was
like, that's cool. So then he started going into this story about how medical students would come to these potter's fields and dig up the bodies to take cadavers home to basically dissect and study.
Legally or illegally?
Illegally.
Oh,
So they would come in the middle of the night and take these bodies away.
That's fucked up.
Yeah.
But that happens
for
all the time.
science.
For science.
Yeah. It is for science. Basically, they did it to study stuff and stuff because they wouldn't get bodies otherwise.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know it's dubious stuff.
Yeah.
So he was telling us about how this used to happen and how there was this one woman who just didn't like this practice at all. So she would come at night when these students would want to come and take the body. She would come and patrol the park all the time, and she would wear this black hood and be a little hunched over and stuff. So I didn't see this woman apparition, if that's what you're wondering, because she was the one who was said to haunt this area. You know, make sure that nobody digs up anything. But while he was talking about this, just out of nowhere, and I was feeling fine throughout this whole trip. My fear had gone by then, nothing. Out of nowhere, I am so dizzy suddenly. I can't see. Like, everything's gone black in front of my eyes. I am like doing chakkars.
Oh no.
And I had to like hold on to my brother's hand. I was like reaching out, and he's like, "What are you doing? Are you trying to scare me?" I was like, "No, I need your hand. I'm going to fall." Just everything was super dizzy. I had gone completely black. I felt like, it felt like my legs were locked up.
Oh shit.
But like the rest of me was kind of going to follow. And I grabbed my brother's hand. I'm like, "I'm going to like really press your hand because I can't see. I need to reorient myself." I'm pressing it super hard. That dizziness didn't go away for like a good 2 minutes.
Oh
and I
my
was like,
God,
what
that's a
is
lot.
happening?
Like, are you possessed by any chance?
That's what I freaking thought. That is something coming out and holding my
Don't
legs
say
and
the P word
possessing me.
here.
I have no idea.
Okay.
But yeah, I couldn't like. I had to stand like for 10 minutes aside and be like, let me just recalibrate myself, because what was that? And the whole atmosphere was super spooky. Like, it was dark, the trees were rustling, there were bushes rustling, and like, I was like, what is happening? It was really creepy.
Oh God, guys.
Well,
I'm
no,
glad I've not been through any of this.
You
But
went to
I've
a
just
ghost
heard
walk.
stories of friends and like, God, I have been to a ghost walk like in Bombay, and they also take you to a lot of places that are apparently haunted.
Okay, the Grand Pradi and all.
Yeah,
and-
Khagi tours.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're pretty good.
Where
That
is this
also-
area?
This is in. Have you heard of Girgaon? Girgaon
Yeah.
Chapati? Yeah, that's supposed to be like the haunted parts of Bombay.
Oh.
So how freaked out were you when this?
I wasn't, because again, there's a group of people, and of course, they try really hard to scare you. Yeah, because they'll take you very close to a grave and they'll be like, "Now look from here." I was like, "This is not." Yeah, so, but it was okay. But I've
Did they
heard.
take you to the Grand Pradi apartments?
I don't. Where is that again? Girgaon
In
only?
Cuff Parade, I guess.
Nahi. Where? What is that famous
So
for?
it's considered to be the most haunted place in Mumbai.
Really?
Yeah.
Why?
It's a flat, and still nobody stays there.
You know why? This is also another thing. A lot of times, like I remember one time from my school, we used to cross a bungalow, okay, on my way to school. I still remember the number. It's called KC19. And just a random day, there were like several murders in that same house. Yeah, and the murders were like, there was proper gore involved. Like the bodies were dumped in the bed boxes, and nobody had any idea. So again, after that murder news came out, that bungalow from the innocent, just another bungalow, became like a haunted place. So I feel like our brain also tries to like conjure up like some stories, or like, oh, now this one's obviously haunted because some murders have happened.
Yeah,
So
but it's like nobody wants to stay in a place which has had murders happen.
But how do you just dump a good place, or do you start from scratch? What would?
I don't know. I mean, like you read a lot of stories, or at least you watch, where things are, especially, I don't know, I watch a lot of weird American TV, so it's like,
Yeah, same.
yeah, so they're like, anytime there's a really bad murder, like, nobody wants to stay there because they feel like there's something wrong
That is
about that
true.
area.
My friend
or like
used
even
to-
houses which are built on like
On-
My
burial
school
sites
was
on
or
a
grave
graveyard.
sites.
on one.
Yeah, but then you cannot see. Then Bombay mein there's no jagah already.
But technically
I'm just thinking,
speaking, like like generations and generations before us, our ancestors,
yeah, they were.
millions of years ago, like people have died everywhere.
Everywhere, yeah.
Like technically, where we are
But they're
sitting
like
right now,
way
people
deeper
have
in the
died.
earth, okay?
Yeah.
It takes some time to climb out.
But my friend was staying in Bandra. You know that Mount Mary area is also like is considered a little haunted.
Yeah.
He's staying in a house where apparently, like before he moved in, a girl used to live. And again, this could be a totally made up story, but yeah, he told us that how this girl was going through a bad time, like maybe she was in a bad phase in her life, but instead of going through a therapist or everything, her parents called like a priest, like a father.
To exhaust.
Yeah, to like basically make her better. Like the words of make her better, and like this priest thought, okay, your daughter is going through, like she's possessed by like a evil spirit. I will fix her. And then he conducted a few experiments, and that's when she died. Like after that, she she died in the same apartment like a few months after that. Yeah.
I will still continue.
Okay, I guess this is this has been a one hell of an episode.
Happy Halloween, everybody.
You guys, if you have any paranormal experiences, don't tell us. Also, yeah,
No, tell us.
We're fine.
Let's
Just tell.
Let's use the hashtag ghost stories or something. I don't know. Just tell us.
IVM ghosts.
Yeah.
That's a little different from ghost stories.
Just add Jaanam, okay?
Yeah.
Nobody else. Add Jaanam Devan.
Yes, on Twitter.
Yeah. Where do we find you, Karthik?
At Grow Up Mohan.
Okay, grow up. Alika?
You can find me at Cape Fox Alex on Twitter and Instagram. But please don't tag me in your ghost stories. I'm a scaredy cat.
You can find me on Twitter at Small Talk Police. And yeah, this was another episode of IVM Daily. You can follow IVM at IVM Podcast on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. See you next time. Bye.
Bye. Happy Halloween.
Shunyavan, 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 Shunyavan.
Hey, this is Shilladitya Mukhopadhyay.
And I'm Amit Doshi.
And we host Shunya One, the weekly podcast based on conversations about startups, entrepreneurship, across verticals like food tech or fintech, and digital payments, logistics, e-commerce, and of course, all the stuff from VCs and investors as well.
Over the course of our run, we've had some really great entrepreneurs. We've had Zishan Hayat from Topper, Naya Sagi from Baby Chakra, Ankush Sachdev from ShareChat, and Akrit from Haptic, among many, many more.
Yep, and we continue to get some of the biggest, smartest, and most innovative folks in the country in this space coming here, talking to us, all for you guys to listen to.
So tune in every Tuesday on the IVM app, website, or wherever you get your podcasts from, and get a chance to be a part of all of the tech banter and entrepreneurship conversations on our Slack channel. Talk to our guests, they show up as well. All you have to do is request an invite on ivmpodcast.com/Shunya1.
Hi, my name is Anupam Gupta. I'm B50 on Twitter. I am the host of Paisa Vaisa, the show that talks money. On my show, I speak to experts from every field of money and finance, from stock markets, equities, debt funds, credit cards, life insurance, every possible area of money and finance that you can think of. We even did an episode on cryptocurrency. I've got fantastic guests from mutual funds to personal finance experts everywhere. Robo-advisory, startups, just name it, we've got it. At Paisa Vaisa, we help you make smart decisions about money. You work hard for money. Now make your money work hard for you. New episodes out every Monday, and you can listen to my show on the IVM Podcast app or any other podcasting app that you have.